Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all honors and praises and glory belongeth to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakwadash. And double honors to the elder apostles that taught us this truth, and to the hopeful elect across the globe. Okay? And to the few, the very few brothers and sisters listening and also learning across the globe. We're out here another day to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom and usher in the kingdom of Yahweh by Sham, Yahweh Shai. So without further ado, we're going to go to Matthew 24.
From verse 6.
From verse 6, Baba Kashah.
Go on, this is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumours of wars, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So we're hearing of wars and rumours of wars between who? Russia, the US, Iran, Ukraine, okay.
Israel.
And who else?
Israel is going against Iran.
And Israel going against Iran as well. You got the skirmishes, you still got the rockets flying in Gaza. So all these are what? Rumours of wars. Continue, Baba Kashah.
Yep, Khan. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
So this was happening, there's famines, there's earthquakes, volcanoes in diverse places. Diverse means everywhere, all over the globe. There's a diversities of these things happening. Anything else?
Yeah, Khan. So if I might just add to that, in regards to the earthquakes, I forgot to mention this when Yarami and I were out yesterday, but something that Esau uses to measure earthquakes is called the Richter scale, right? Now, what Esau has actually done is, I heard someone talking about saying that where they measure the earthquake and they say, oh, it's a 7.2, it's a 6.6. The Richter scale, or the measurement that they use now, has actually changed, so the earthquakes that we're seeing in the earth are actually more powerful than they used to be. But Esau's hiding this, trying to make it seem like, oh, everything's the same, but really, these earthquakes are getting more and more intense. So yeah, that's all one.
Right, that's all right. You continue on that?
Right, so verse 8, Matthew 24, verse 8, and it says, all these are the beginning of sorrows.
So this is where it starts. Jacob's trouble, it's already here. It's just going to amplify.
This is the beginning.
Yeah. Continue all the way down to...
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you.
This is the main part I want to get on, persecution. Then shall they deliver you up. Who's going to deliver you up to kill you? Esau, his authorities. Continue.
Yep. They shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
That's why you got to get in your head. We ain't coming to this truth to be loved. Okay, you're going to be hated of all nations.
Yep.
So that means you ain't going to be loved when you come to this truth. Eventually, people are going to hate you. If it's not happening now, eventually it's going to happen.
Yep.
It's going to be slander campaigns. You may even have your face on the news, on a billboard, saying this person...
wanted.
Yep.
For hate crime.
This is the reality. This is what you got to prepare your mind for.
Yep.
A bit more.
Khan. And also, what does it say here? It's very important. Then you shall be hated of all nations for what? Is it just because you're an Israelite? No. You're going to be hated for his name's sake. So the name is very important. What name we come in.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Verse 10. Then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
That's why you got to watch out for that offense. Obviously, when you first come to the truth, particular things you don't understand, but that offense, because it says many shall be offended, then they shall betray another. So through offense, what does offense cause? Hate. What does that hate cause? Betrayal. That's why you got to believe in this truth. You got to believe in Yahweh Shai. Because if you don't, if you're offended at the word, and I was watching your live show yesterday about eat the whole roll.
Yep.
So if you're not eating the whole roll,
Ezekiel the 3rd chapter.
Yeah, there's gonna be something in that. There's gonna be something in the roll because you ain't ate it properly. That's gonna offend you. And what's that gonna cause? Hate. Then eventually it's gonna cause betrayal.
Yep.
So you gotta eat the whole roll.
It's a slippery slope, man. Once that you get that anger towards someone, you get that hate, you get that enmity, that can end up messing you up, man. So continuing on, it says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
Okay, and you see that happening. Joel, Steen, they're false prophets. And even people in this truth, they're false prophets. If you're not speaking according to this word, you're a false prophet.
Or if you're teaching this word deceitfully, if you're trying to fake the funk, You're a false prophet.
Right, as it says in Jeremiah, somewhere 51, I can't find it. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord, Yahushua deceitfully, and he that keepeth his sword back from blood. You know what? You don't keep your sword back from blood. You use it. What's a sword? These scriptures. So every day you got to be using it.
That's
and
right.
You can't be doing this work deceitfully. You go into that. You go into Matthew's and it talks about the wicked and slothful servant. You go into that word slothful. It talks about deceitful. That's why you don't want to be slothful, because you may not even know it. You might be slothful. Then it causes what? Evilness to creep in.
Yep.
We're not going to be 100% on point, but the scriptures are telling you slothful. It means ramaya. Slothful, ramaya. Look up that word. Deceitful, treacherous. So you're liable to be treacherous.
Yep.
You may not even know it, but that's why we have to keep pushing, bro. Keep pushing the word to the best of your ability. You're not going to do 5 videos a day. You may not even do 3, but keep pushing, because as soon as you don't, that evil will creep in.
Yep.
And you've seen that happen. Wickedness has overcome men. Why? Because they're not focused on Yahushua and they've been given over to a left-hand side spirit.
That's right.
Is it any more than that?
Yeah, can't. And it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Whoa. Because iniquity shall abound. So iniquity is not simmering down. This is more wicked than ever. People say, oh, the Dark Ages, it was wicked. No, the Dark Ages were actually more civilized. It's actually more wicked now.
Yep.
And it says the love of many shall wax cold. That means it's going to totter. People are going to hate each other. People are going to be turned on each other. That's when it means the love of many shall wax cold. This is what time we're coming into. The people you see gathering around with each other, they're going to turn on each other.
Yep.
So you got to, we're preparing our minds for these things to happen. Okay?
Yep.
Now would you grab me 2nd Ezra 16
Can't.
and 71 or start at 69, Babakashah? This is what time we're coming into, approaching. You want to make sure the brothers that are in your circle, you want to make, they're about the truth. You don't want to be guessing yourself. Oh, is he really about the truth? You don't want to be guessing. And the scriptures tell you that in Mark 13, a house divided against. So like, I'll say one thing.
What? If Satan did be divided against Satan, how can his house stand? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, if a house be divided against itself as well, how shall it stand? A house is a body.
Yes.
So, brothers, we got. Yeah, and you know what? Not all brothers are gonna get on with the same accord. You know, we got different things, different backgrounds, but as long as we're on the same accord to these scriptures, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna, like, example, I may get along with another brother more than I get along with Ariel. It doesn't mean I don't love him. You're still my brother, but you know what I'm saying? Has to be in accordance with the scriptures. As long as you're in accordance with the scriptures, what did Yahushua say? Who are my brothers? Who are my sisters? Who's my mother? They that do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's how we're supposed to look at each other.
Yep.
As brothers, sisters. This is your true family.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've got brothers in the flesh who are more distant to me than brothers in the truth.
Man,
Yeah.
this is your true family. And it takes time because you've got to build up trust. But anyway, let's continue.
Right, you called for 2nd Ezra 16 and 69. Then they consent unto them all.
Nah, it's a bit more down. Another one where it says there shall be a great insurrection.
Yeah, I've got
Take
you
your time.
70, it's verse 70. Alright, so 2nd Ezra 60 and verse 70, it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those who fear the Lord Yahushua.
So this is warning us of what? What's the insurrection? I looked it up before I came out here. To rise up, to lift oneself, from the word insurgenton. And what does it say? From in. So the insurgent is not from outside. A lot of the time it's from in. That's why you want to examine every brother around you, because insurgent comes from in. How did they take down the Black Panthers? How did they take down the other groups?
From within.
By infiltrating. So this is what's going to happen. You can't stop that. If it happens, it happens.
Right.
But this is the reality of stuff. This is the bitterness that we're going to speak of in the scriptures, because the scripture says there's certain men in Jude
Crept in
1 and
unawares.
4 that crept in unaware, Baba Kashah. This is the reality of the truth. Sometimes you don't even want to go into these topics, but it's the spirit that has me going into these topics.
It's all important.
Scripture said these things would happen in the last days. Okay?
So this is the book of Jude, chapter 1, verse 4. It says, for there were so it's like it.
Take
For
your time.
there, no, I'm good, man. I'll be good. It's just started. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation.
So it says Salakia crept in unaware. They were really unaware of whatever it takes to be a man of the Lord. They crept in. They didn't come in the right way. They were ordained to what? Condemnation.
Yeah.
What's condemnation? The word from damned. Condemned.
So, with damnation.
That's
Condemnation.
it. So that's the thing. We want to make sure we're doing everything possible and we're doing it with sincerity, the right intent.
Yep. There are certain men crept in unawares who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness.
Ungodly men turning the grace, the mercy, into lasciviousness. And would you have you got internet?
Yep.
Look at that word lasciviousness.
I know
what it means. Excess lust.
Yeah, I've looked at
And
it
it ain't
before.
speaking about looking at a big booty woman. It ain't speaking about that.
I get it though.
It's speaking about in the means of covetousness. Wanted to take rank. You're looking at the elder like, what does he know? You know? That's what it's talking about. Position. Okay?
And that's covetousness. If you're looking at someone and thinking, I want what he's got, you're coveting what the next man's got, and that's a sin.
Right.
Let me just look it up here.
Because the scripture says these things would play out in the end. Okay? That's why the intent doesn't matter. You might fall. You might go off. It's the intent. Not everybody has the intent. All right. Learn the scriptures. Teach the scriptures. And that's it. You just want salvation. Not everybody has that intent. Some have wicked intent. So the intent has to be right. Because if it's not, the scriptures will search out the intent and it will be manifest eventually. Okay?
I've got one, you know.
Bring it out.
Sirach 23 and 19 says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, belonging to the ways of men and considering the most sacred parts.
Only such a man feareth the eyes of men. And that's another thing as well. Don't just be doing videos, the apostles, they're on my back. There's certain men are like that area. The apostles, they're on my back. I better just do this now. That means you fear men, that means the fear of the Lord, Yahushua ain't there.
What?
Do it because you want to do it. Well, let me just do a last minute video. Don't you know Yahushua sees that? You know, man, you can't, see, that's what I'm talking about, doing the work deceitfully.
I've got the thing you called for, the word lasciviousness in Jude 1 and 4. Do you want it?
Yeah, Baba Kashar.
Right, so this is the breakdown of the word lasciviousness in the blue letter, Strong's G766 Aslagia, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, it's the correct Greek, innit?
Yep, and it says root word from a compound as a negative. No, that's not important. Let's get the outline biblical usage. It means unbridled lust,
Whoa.
excess, licentiousness, lasciviousness, wantonness, outrageousness, shamelessness, insolence.
Whoa.
So basically all them things.
So in other words, opposite of a stoic. Someone that's not disciplined at all.
An Epicurean.
Right, because obviously there's things we do in our downtime, but this is someone that doesn't have no...
The do as thou wilt spirit.
None. You see, there's such a thing of you trying. A man can see if you're disciplined. There's another thing where you're not disciplined at all. So that's what it means. Is there anything else on Jude 1 and 6?
Yeah, let's read it on. So it says, verse 5, I will therefore put... Do you want to jump straight to 6? Now read on. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how that the Lord Yahushua, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them which believe not.
Right, that's self-explanatory. It says it. I don't really need to break that down. They believe not.
And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness, unto the judgment of the great day.
So who were the angels that didn't keep their first estate? Us, Israelites.
Yep.
Remember we were living to, 969 years old, Mafshallah.
Methuselah.
Yeah, Methuselah, to order for that correction. And what? We're living as the sons of God. But what did it say? Reserved unto the chains of darkness.
Unto the day of judgment.
What's that? The flesh. Okay, these are chains of darkness. The only way you can escape these chains, if you die. But you don't want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord will punish you for that. Because he gave you life.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But we're done with that.
Yep.
Would you go to Revelations, because I want to stay on the point, Revelations 2 and 10.
Khan.
You know?
Synagogue of Satan. So it
No,
says,
it ain't synagogue of Satan. It's
fear none of these things.
Yeah.
Alright, Khan. It's lucky. I was one verse off.
You figure out something else, yeah.
Verse 9 is synagogue of Satan. Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. But be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
So the devil shall cast some of you into prison. What does devil mean? Deceiver. Latin diablos. Okay, a culminator, one who acts on the side of the side of Esau. Esau's the devil himself, but you got our people. They are of the devil. They're doing the works of the devil.
The lust of your father ye will do.
John 8 and 44. So it says, what does it say? Can you read that again?
Khan, Revelation 2 verse 10. And then shall no, it's lucky, wrong one. 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and that you shall have tribulation 10 days.
So it says some of you, not all, because you've got brothers doing videos like all of Israel are going to suffer that fate. No, it says some. Those that's appointed to.
Yep. And it says, ye shall have tribulation 10 days, but be thou faithful unto death.
Tribulation 10 days. It doesn't mean 10 days. Could be 5 days. Could be a week.
Could be 2 hours.
Could be, it could be a month. But you're going to have that tribulation. Okay?
Yep. And it says, and be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. So you got to be faithful no matter what. This the flesh going to get a bit
Wild up.
Yeah, it is, because that's your flesh. But be faithful even until death, because the Lord, He's a power of miracles. So He's able to deliver you from that situation. Even if you have to die, so what?
Yep.
You're already dead. Okay?
May I just add to this? You've got to have faith as well, because you might be in a situation where you don't see a way physically out of it. Let's say you're chained up in a cell somewhere and the guard just leaves you and you're just in there, right?
Yeah.
You got to have faith that the Lord can deliver you, because what happened to is it Apostle Peter?
Let's go. Hey, Baba Kashar. Hey, I have already had this set before we came as well. That's the spirit. Acts 12, Baba Kashar. You get that for me?
Yep.
Acts 12, that's right. Because again, what has Yahushua done since you've been in this truth? He's looked after you. We're here today. He got you here.
That's right.
He's made sure you had food. All right, you may not have everything you want, but he's made sure you've been sufficient.
Yeah, all you need is your daily bread, man.
Right, so he's there for you. So how more so when we're in these situations? But this is applying to those that have done this truth in all sincerity with the right intent. They're the ones that are going to be looked after. The ones that are pissing about, they're going to... Look, and that's... The Lord can flip it. The Lord can have it where they're the ones that get caught up and get put to death. You see what I'm saying? That's how you got to see things, okay?
Do you want me to read from 12 and 1?
Acts 12, all the way down to... Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's good stuff here.
Whoa.
I'll just get in.
Until I tell you to stop. Acts 12.
Right, so Acts 12 from the first verse. Now, about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church.
Yeah, and you know who Herod was. Okay, what was it? The son... Was it son of Antipater?
I think so.
Herod is the son of Antipater.
Yep.
Okay, who was a false Jew.
Yeah, he was an Edomite.
Yeah, he was a tear. Okay?
Yep.
And it says, stretch forth his hands to vex certain of the church. So he was persecuting the church.
Yep.
Taking out Israelites.
Yep, he had that spirit on him from the minute Yahushua was born.
Right,
because he tried to kill Yahushua when he was a child.
Yeah, the spirit of Satan on him.
Yep, so reading on, verse 2. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword.
So it lets you know the apostles, they were getting put to death.
Yep, real talk. So it says, and because he saw that it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also.
Stop right there, because he seen it pleased the Jews. So hold on a minute.
They're offended at this word.
Yes, you see how these precepts are, because it pleased the Jews. So what does that mean? There was Jews that were offended at the work, what the disciples and the apostles were saying. And really, these Jews, they were some of the Pharisees. It doesn't tell you, but you know they were the Pharisees because they had high positions under the Herodians.
Yep, and
so they were like,
it's lucky they didn't want to lose their seat.
Right, right. So again, it's the same thing today. Those that don't want to lose their seats, they're going to try to get rid of you.
So it says, verse 3, and because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. then were the days of unleavened bread. And when he had apprehended him, he put him into prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter, I should say really the Passover, to bring him forth unto the people.
So this is what was happened. He was apprehended, grabbed up, okay, and he was he was put into prison. There's more.
Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made for him without ceasing of the church unto the Most High for him.
That's right. So again, brothers were praying for him. All throughout the church, you can imagine that, all throughout the different regions, because the news spread that Peter was in prison. And Peter was highly beloved.
He was the head apostle.
Right. So even there were supplications for him. And it said without ceasing.
Yep.
Of the church of the Most High for him. There's more than 6.
Yep. When Herod would have brought him forth the same night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains.
Love this bit.
And the keepers before the door kept the prison.
So he was bound with 2 chains. 2 chains on the hands.
And on the foot.
And on the foot, which is known as fetters. Lying down. Okay.
Between 2 guards.
Between 2 guards. We're going to get to it.
Yep. And the soldiers were keeping the door. And behold, let me read that again. And Herod brought him forth. So it's like Herod would have brought him forth that same night. Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and the keepers of the door kept the prison.
Right.
And behold, the angel of the Lord Yahushua came upon him, and the light shined in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side, and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell from off of his hands.
So again, you got to imagine that. Peter laying down, and he threw a big thud, and you know that must have hurt. That must have hurt.
Yeah.
An angel kicking you. But it doesn't say kick. It could have been anything. It could have been anything. Could have been hands. Could have been something he had in his hand. Anything. But he got beat. Okay, on his side.
He got smote.
Right.
And the angel said unto him, Gird up thyself, and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he saith unto him, Cast thy garment about thee, and follow me.
Right. So again, I forgot to miss it. The chains fell off.
Yep.
Why? Because the angels broke that. Okay. So same mate. Even with guillotines, you think the angel can't break that? You can have it where it snaps. This is the mindset you gotta have. And if you have to go, you have to go. Forget all that doubt now. Forget all that. We've came too far to doubt.
Yep.
If we have to go, we have to go, and that's it. Okay, but we believe through the Spirit and power of Yahushua, He's going to defend us.
That's right. If I might add to this, if I may. It says the Apostle James was killed by the sword. That was his lot. You know, some of us are going to face that. Some of us are going to be like Peter, hemmed up in prison. So, you know, like the brother was saying, every man's going to have to deal with his situation accordingly. Right. But there's another point I want to make about the chains. Because the angel broke the chains off of Peter's hands and his feet. But what does it say about the guy who's possessed by demons, the demon calling himself Legion? He sat amongst the tombs, right? And they said many times they tried to bind him with chains, but he broke them. So basically, the Lord could give you spiritual power.
Well, because why? That was Satan, and Satan is an angel. So Satan gave him that strength to break that chain.
Yep.
Because that's why you see, I don't want to veer off topic, you got the monks and those that could smash big cubicles of ice. Why? Because Satan, they're working off that left-hand side energy. So again, Satan is an angel on the left-hand side. So yeah, he's given power, but that power is not guaranteed. It's only for a short time.
That's right.
Would you grab me where we were? Because I don't want to veer off.
I didn't want to veer off, but I was just saying that the Lord could break those chains anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it says, and the angel said unto him, Gird thyself, bind on thy sandals, and so he did. And he saith unto him, Cast thy garment about thee and follow me.
All right, basically, put on your stuff, put on your garments, put on your sandals, and follow me. Okay. There's more.
Yep. And it reads on. It says, and he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but he thought he saw a vision. So he thought he was dreaming.
Yeah, he thought he was dreaming. Wouldn't you, if you were in that type of situation? You think this is a dream. It was surreal, but it was real. You know, that's why he said that.
Yep. Verse 10. When they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened to them of its own accord. That's a huge ass iron gate, yeah? Opening of its own accord.
Beautiful. That's it. See, bro, this should boost your faith. You know when you're thinking about these situations, this should boost your faith. There's more.
Yep. And they went out and passed through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. Now Peter was come to himself, he said, Now I know of a surety that the Lord Yahushua hath sent his angel and hath delivered me out of the hand of Herod and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews.
Now I know of surety. Surety goes from confidence. So what did that do to Peter? He just waxed strong in the faith, even stronger. So when these scenarios come about and we're delivered, I won't say we're delivered, Lord willing, we're delivered from these situations, it's going to give us more reason to glorify Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
That's right.
That's why these things need to happen.
Yep.
It's not because you're wicked. The people of the world, they're gonna try to throw out all types of allegations, slander your name, ridicule you. But it's not because of that. It's because they hate Yahushai.
Yep. If they hate the master, they'll hate the servant.
Yeah, there's a little bit more.
Yep. So it says, verse 12. And when he had considered the thing, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. And Peter knocked at the door of the gate, and a damsel came to hearken named Rhoda. And when she knew Peter's voice, she opened not the gate for gladness, but ran in and told how Peter stood before the gate. And they said unto her, Thou art mad. But she constantly affirmed that it was even so. Then they said, It is his angel. But Peter continued knocking, and when they opened the door, they saw him and were astonished. But he, beckoning unto them with the hand to hold their peace, declared unto them how the Lord Yahushua had brought him out of the prison, and said, Go, show these things unto James and to the brethren. And he departed and went into another place.
Right, so these people, they couldn't believe it when they saw. They were amazed. So this was a miracle to others and boosted not just Peter's faith, the rest that saw it. So we're done with that. Would you grab me Luke 12 and jump straight to verse 51, Baba Kashar. 51 and 53. So yeah, that's again. So we quickly see how quick we went into that. We went into persecution, and we went into the deliverance. I'm starting, and the deliverance. Okay. And guess what? Quick thing before we go into the scripture. What happened to Abednego, Shadrach, and Meshach when those accused him and those that were chucking him in the fire? What happened to them?
I got a precept if you don't mind, yeah?
Bring it out, whatever you got.
Yeah, because that's yeah.
They got burned up.
Daniel 3 and 14.
Was that what you had?
Huh?
Was that what you had as well?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said unto them, It is true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up. Question. That was a question. Straight to the point now. 17. If it be so, our God the answer. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and will deliver us out of thine hand, O King. But if not, be known unto thee, O King, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Right.
If you can find that bit where they chucked him in.
Yeah.
Where they chucked him in and they got burnt up.
Right. And he commanded the most mighty men that were. They didn't get burned up. They got a protected ark.
No, I'm talking about. All
right.
Come on now.
Yeah. No, it's me. Therefore, because the king commanded was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
See, that's the point. So, this is what you got to realize.
Yeah.
They were the accusers, but they're the ones that got burnt up. And while Abednego, Shadrach, and Meshach were in the fire, they overcame that fire. And a beautiful point I like to make, why did they overcome that fire? Because they were in the spirit, and the spirit is likened unto fire. That's why you want to be in the spirit. Stephen, when he was stoned, he was in the spirit. He didn't feel it.
Yep.
He didn't feel them stones. So that's the importance of being in the spirit. If you're in the flesh, of course you're going to feel that pain. That's why I walk in the spirit.
You know, there's another testimony of that, if I may, in the book of Maccabees, when they were trying to force the children to eat the swine's flesh.
Even if you got that in scriptures, you know what it is.
Maccabees, I find it.
Can I just bring out a little bit more just to finish off? 24 says, Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astounded and rose up in haste and spoke and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire. They have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spoke and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fiery furnace of the fire. Right, there you go.
So Aviyah, who was that fourth?
Huh?
Who was that fourth man?
The son of the Most High.
What's his name?
That was Yehoshai.
Right, that's it. You know, just keeping brothers sharp. You know, it's not about myself. It's about
edification of those
yeah,
who are
and
watching.
feeding the brothers, man.
And
Esteeming others better than themselves. What I'm learning is humility. It's
Yeah.
not about me. It's about other brothers as well. And you got to reason with a brother. Don't be in that mindset. Oh, he don't get it. He don't get it. He must be with. Nah. You got to take your time. You got to take your time with brothers, man. Can't be in that spirit. Oh, you don't get it. You don't know what I know. I've seen men with that spirit. Where are they now?
Yep.
Back in the world, not even doing videos. So you always got to take your time with brothers, because guess what? You may look at a brother and say, I think he's through now. You don't know if he may repent. You don't know. So again, that mercy, you got to be balanced.
Bob Marley said he wanted to be. There's a song called "Who the Cat Fit, Let Them Wear It," right? And he said, you never know who your enemy is, right? Until that time comes. You understand what I'm saying? Your best friend could be your worst enemy. Your worst enemy could be your best friend. Only your secrets. Only your friend can reveal your secrets. So be careful who you reveal your secrets to.
Right.
There's a lot of morals in there, but.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot to that.
When the time come of the Daniel's time, that's going to come round again, and we're all going to be, because as you mentioned, it's a faith booster, but it's also refining to us to keep us, to refine us and build our faith, because we've got a lot of chaff in us and a lot of things that the Most High is getting rid of, which is a good thing. So
Purging.
yeah, purging.
Them impurities.
So he's going to Yehovah says, we get the spiritual power. He's going to purge out all the chaff, so we get the spiritual power, so we could deal with that in righteousness too,
Right.
you know.
Good point.
Right, I've got the precept to what I was saying. This is 2 Maccabees, the 7th chapter from the 1st verse. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. Then the king, being in a rage, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and cut off the uttermost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on.
So what's that called? That's called fraying. You know, cutting up someone's body while they're alive. That's horrible. Do you want to speak on that?
Yeah, flaying is when you take someone's skin off. When it says they cut off the uttermost parts of his body, I'm guessing, this is just me hypothesizing, they probably started with a finger. You like that? We'll do another one. Then eventually they're cutting off toes, then they're cutting off legs and arms and stuff, trying to force this guy to eat the swine's flesh. So reading verse 5, it says, Now when he was thus maimed, yep, because see they maimed him, and in all his members, not just one, maimed in all his members, probably cutting off his rod and all that kind of shit too, right? He commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire and to be fried in the pan.
Whoa.
Yep. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus,